When you first enter Lake County's Penitentiary Glen Reservation, it seems like your typical nature haven. Leafy landscaping, earthy architecture and winding paths, colorful flowers where bugs and birds are sipping nectar. It's all very lovely and serene, but nothing unique, right? And then you hear something in the distance. You look around, and you suddenly find you're in a different kind of space. A space where man, machine, and Mother Nature are finding common ground. Ground that's filled with train tracks. That's when you know you've stumbled upon the home of the Lakeshore Live Steamers. The Steamers are a unique group of hobbyists who build and or buy model trains that they and the general public can ride. And while the group's members are quick to point out the fun they have tinkering with their massive toys, they also admit that some thorny work went into carving out their space at Penitentiary Glen.
There just wasn't anything here. With the back of us, we've got this 460-foot multi-gauge track, and there was nothing in there but rose bushes. It was solid rose bushes. They were about 12 feet high. They had grown up in what's the apple orchard, and once we cleared it out, you see the apple orchard back here. But we staked out an oval where we put the track, and if somebody was around the corner, the rose bushes were so thick that we couldn't see anybody. We could hear them, but it was like working in a tunnel or a valley.
It was pretty rough. They put this small track down long before my time. We still use it today. It's one of those things that once you get a little bit of track, you need more track, you need more space. And that's kind of the story of this railroad. In the time I've been here, we've probably added, well, I'd say 1,000 feet of track to it. It grows and grows and grows. And it grows in a planned way, fortunately. You will talk to Mr. Dick Clark, who is our track master. We jokingly say that we have to break his pencil because he's always doodling on a piece of paper that shows this layout. He's always trying to decide where to go next. What can we do next? What can we do to make this railroad more functional? What can we do to make this railroad more fun?
It's really neat, and I love going in like the opposite directions, because when we have a public run, we only go one way and not just on the main line. So when we have a club run, we go the opposite direction, and you go down the branch lines and everything that they put in since I've been a member, and it's just so exciting. It's
a hobby. It's a bunch of individuals, fairly tightly knit individuals, who are enjoying what they do, having a good time. We try to show the public a good time. We have a relationship with the park, with the Metro Parks, which I think is probably second to none.
We actually have a great partnership with the Lakeshore Live Steamers, and we're all good friends. The park system provides a place for this private club to put down tracks, to build buildings, and to have a place for them to run their trains. The partnership then comes in where the Lakeshore Live Steamers provide public runs, public rides for free, several times a year. And usually during the year, they start in April and go into October with those runs, and anywhere from 12 to 15 rides per year.
I love trains, and to me, steam engines rule. You hear that, you diesel guys out there? There's a beauty in a steam locomotive, because when you think about it, it's one of the very few machines where you see everything on the outside. I mean, we can't see inside the piston, obviously, or in the firebox, but the rest of the mechanism, you can see it. And there's a beauty in seeing how it all comes together and works. And even when it's running around the track here, I can sense when, it's like the locomotive and I become one. I know it sounds cliche, but I mean it with my heart. And that is, while I love the hobby and I love having the locomotive, And it's probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life, sincerely. The one thing that I learned about this hobby that I can't stress enough, that I had no idea came along for the ride, was the people. Everyone in this club, our Lakeshore Live Steamers, are wonderful people. I really feel like it's an extended family. And by the same token, the people I've met in travels in this hobby have been tremendous. Quick short story, one time I had a little problem. I was up at a club in Michigan, and this gentleman from Virginia by the name of Joe Scales. Joe's one of the sages in our hobby. And he came up to me, and he barely knew me. He's like, "Frank, let me give you a hand with that." And a problem that I've been chasing down all summer, Joe took a look at, and in 5 minutes he had the answer. And it's like people like that endear themselves to you. So what does it mean to me? It means everything. This is, I joke with the club, the members from time to time, that this is, while I think the entrance here, it should say pearly gates, because this is heaven for me. It means everything.